Hello, bienvenue, live at Roland-Garros on a sunny Sunday evening and on a day when it was confirmed that we will have a first-time French Open women's champion with the defeat of defending champion Garbine Muguruza. What a day it's been and what a day it could still be with the men's defending champion Novak Djokovic on court right now. So the action continues. The weather is lovely compared to yesterday when they had to call it at around this time because it was miserable, it was wet and it was overcast. If you'd like to get in touch with us, and you have been doing so, and it's really nice to hear from you, I promise we are reading your comments, we're taking them on board and we are enjoying them. Hashtag RG17, and you know all the platforms that you have that you can use. Alongside me this evening in the studio, Nick and Camille. Good evening, how are we? You well?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And you, Gigi?
No, lovely. Yeah. Enjoying, Nick, nicer weather.
Yeah, what a difference a day makes, right? Yesterday I was out there in the rain under an umbrella, and today sunny skies, and we're still playing tennis. I
know, we've allowed you back in the studio this evening. No umbrella needed. The action, as you said, is taking place. And I think we go straight to Suzanne Lenglen, where Dominic Thiem, who's in the same half of the draw as Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic, he's on court. He's taking on Horacio Zeballos. Now, this was the guy that came through because of the withdrawal of David Goffin through injury. Dominic Thiem, the first set, 6-1. Camille, he's just taken the second set, 6-3. He leads by 2 sets to love.
How impressive is Dominic Thiem? Because Zeballos, yeah, I mean, he won against Goffin with, it was a special, scenario, but 6-1, 6-3, and he's a clay court player, Zeballos, the Argentinian guy, so it was not that easy, for Dominic Thiem, and just he keeps playing amazing, and 6-1, 6-3, it's amazing. We'll see, probably he will finish it 3 sets, and he's going to be fit for the other matches he has to play. Yeah. Very impressive for me.
And the winner of that match faces the winner of the match on the court behind us, on Philippe Chatrier, involving defending champion Novak Djokovic against Albert Ramos Vinolas, who his best result so far in terms of the level was the Masters 1000 final in Monte Carlo, where he lost to Rafa Nadal. And the Spaniard Nick has an early break, breaking the first service game of Novak Djokovic in the first set.
Yeah, well, today, no Andre Agassi for Novak Djokovic. Coach Agassi not here in Paris for this one. It's been an early struggle for Mr. Djokovic. Frustrated, not really sure of himself out there on court. Let's see how this one develops on Chatrier. You see it, Ramos Vinolas with a break in hand.
Yeah, Camille, that is going to be a tricky one for Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, that's weird, because he has so much experience and he's struggling in a way.
He's
mentally.
Just not sure of himself, it doesn't seem, at this tournament.
Yeah, and tennis is a very tough sport for that, because you never know what's going to happen. Even if you have experience, you have won Grand Slams, you can be struggling for little things like that with your staff on court. It's very difficult.
So we're watching that match courtesy of some monitors. We're hearing the noise of the fans behind us, but someone who has an incredible view of this contest that's ongoing at the moment is Eli. Good evening, Eli.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Well, no better seat in the house than where I am, right courtside. Conditions beautiful, a little bit of wind though on court, and Novak Djokovic has served 3 times and has already been broken twice. So is that the non-Agassi effect in the box? I don't know. But right now, Novak Djokovic definitely struggling against Albert Ramos Vinolas. Let's remember that these two have played 3 times, and Ramos Vinolas has yet to take a set from Novak Djokovic. So who knows? Ramos Vinolas just confirmed his break. He's up 4-2 now on the return event. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, Eli. Nick, I feel so bad. Last night you were under an umbrella getting wet. This evening, Eli has the most amazing spot on Philippe Chatrier.
Yeah, that's all right. I understand. I obviously made the weather gods unhappy, but all right, we've got tennis. That's all that we care about, right? We've got live tennis now, which is a good thing.
So Albert Ramos Vinolas looking to cause what would be a huge upset. Earlier today, there was no upset because it was Rafa Nadal taking on another Spaniard in Roberto Bautista Agut. Nadal's record against his countryman is absolutely frightening. And Camille, you have to think it's in the back of their minds somewhere when they take to the court against him.
Yeah, of course, it's in the back of their mind. Nadal, maybe the past years, was a different Nadal, maybe that you can think you can beat. Now he's back, and the score is just terrible. I mean, he's playing amazing, and he's so focused from the beginning till the end. We saw that against Basilashvili. He played amazing the whole match, and again Bautista Agut that has more experience than Basilashvili. He just keeps with the same level, and he's just amazing.
Yeah, just 20 games dropped in 4 matches for Rafael Nadal. 13-0, as you mentioned, Gigi, against Spaniards. And most importantly for Rafa Nadal, He's 1-0 as a 31-year-old. Celebrated his birthday yesterday with a win today, and you've got to think he's just steamrolling into the second week. No one wants to be in the path of Rafael Nadal
But
right
we
now.
knew that Batista Agut didn't have, something strong to beat. It's a matter of game as well. There's the level, but there's the game that fits to somebody. And we knew that maybe the Batista Agut, he's a very good player, but didn't have the game to go and beat Rafael Nadal.
And Pablo Carreño Busta thinking, right, so I got my first top 10 win. Okay, and now I'm facing a Spaniard at Roland-Garros. I don't think other Spaniards are allowed to beat Nadal here. I think it's just something that's
impossible.
There.
You know, you go back to the country and you're just destroyed by the crowd. Okay, I leave him the win today.
Well, and Gigi and I were talking about on radio today, we've kind of run out of words to talk about the Rafael Nadal game. You talk about how he's back to him old self, but maybe even better than his old self right now at Roland-Garros.
Oh, no, it's absolutely incredible. Now, a match that promised so much and started last night. It was Gaël Monfils against Richard Gasquet. There was the group of people that said this is going to be incredible. The others went, oh, I'm not sure how this was going to pan out. And it started so well again today, Camille, but then unfortunately, Richard Gasquet, injury struck, game over.
Yeah, we were surprised and sad for him, of course. We were expecting such a fight between the two French guys. And I don't know, I think he got sick, and that's what he said, from appendicitis, and he's not recovering that well. And we didn't know about that, like it was that deep, like maybe he's tired, his body is tired. And so we were expecting so much, and in the end, yeah, we were so disappointed for her, and disappointed because it's not the same win, for Gaël Monfils, even if he's a confident guy, and but it's disappointed for both of them, I think.
Yeah, really disappointing. You could see the disappointment on his face. But as Camille said there, Nick, he's gone through appendicitis, had the operation. He hasn't played that much tennis. He's having to get his strength back up. And this would have always been a big test for him.
Yeah, I mean, Gasquet is someone who's struggled in Paris, right? He hasn't necessarily played his best tennis at Roland-Garros. Today it was the appendicitis perhaps a little bit, and the right thigh is why he actually pulled out. But for Gaël Monfils, it's a sort of a pass into the next round, and he's got to gain a little bit of confidence too. Monfils is someone that made the semifinals here 9 years ago. He made the semifinals at the US Open, so perhaps we can have a Frenchman go deep in Paris.
He will need a little bit of rest because he's got Stan Wawrinka next. Now, a huge upset today saw John Isner, semi-finalist in Rome at recently 21st seed, fall to one of the next-gen stars, Karen Khachanov from Russia. A huge win for the 21-year-old.
Huge win. To be like leading 2 sets, we were like surprised and said, okay, is he gonna make it? And then when he lost the third set, 7-6, he was up 5-2. Then is now winning this set. So, okay, he's dead, in this match.
Yes.
And he just had the resource, to just fight and to stay mentally in the match, keeping serving really well as well. And from the baseline, he was better than Isner, and he was always there, ready to have a break.
Well,
and I'm surprised that he could win in 4 sets.
I thought he was so steely in that 4th set tiebreak because he did lose it in the 3rd, and you thought maybe the tides would turn. John Isner has come back from 2 sets down, but Karen Khachanov has actually played a lot of chess in his life. He was talking about his chess game in press. I think that chess mind helped him on court today.
Yeah, I think so. And he also said that in his pre-season, he's been getting his fitness levels to the point where he can deal with possible 5-set matches.
Yeah, I think he's just prepared to be a very good player in the future, but he's starting right now. He's 50 in the world, and he just keeps, thinking, okay, I'm going to beat the top players, but I want to go, far away in Grand Slams, and I have to be ready for that. Now I'm a next gen, but I'm ready to maybe go quarterfinal, and he's just showing everybody he's capable. Yeah.
Lots of training and lots of playing chess. Now, the match is taking place behind us. Is Novak Djokovic, the defending men's champion, against Albert Ramos Viñolas from Spain. Eli had, well, it was pretty much a front row seat last time we were with him. Eli, have you moved a little bit? Got a guest with you?
Yeah, I moved to the Players' Lounge, and look who I found. Fabrice Santoro. Fabrice, thank you very much for being with us. Fabrice, first of all, you just came from the Mladenovic match where you were doing the on-court interview after the match. Tell us a bit what was going on there. It was crazy.
It was completely crazy. I mean, she had a great ovation after the match point, and when I walk on the court, I can feel the emotion, and she was almost I can see the tears, and she can't even talk for a couple of minutes. She was just enjoying that moment, and the atmosphere was completely crazy on court Suzanne Lenglen.
At least week one is almost over. What stands out for you from this first week of Roland-Garros 2017?
I would say on the men's side, and not big surprise yet. I mean, there is at the moment we talk, there is still Rafael Nadal, of course, but also Stan Wawrinka, Dominic Thiem, Andy Murray, Novak Djokovic. So I think the second part of the tournament should be fantastic. On the women's side, I would say more or less no surprise. Maybe Kiki beating Muguruza today is kind of surprise. But regarding the last result of both players, it's not very big surprise for me. We also have Svitolina, Alep, Pliskova still in the draw.
Okay, and very quickly, what made you happy? What made you sad after this first week?
First of all, what made me sad, I mean, I saw the picture a couple of times of David Goffin. When he played on Suzanne Lenglen, he was leading in the match, and he had to pull out because he slid a couple of meters behind the baseline, and he twists his ankle, and he won't be able to play for a couple of weeks. And I'm very sad for David because he's a good guy, and I think he will win this match. Makes me happy to see a couple French players still in the draw. I mean, three girls: Alizé Cornet, Caroline Garcia, and of course Kristina Mladenovic. And Gael will play tomorrow against Stan Wawrinka also. So we had a great weather so far. Cross my fingers. The second week will be also very sunny.
Fantastic. Okay, Gigi, back to you. We're going to run back courtside Philippe Chatrier. In case anything, come back to us. We'll be there for you guys.
Thank you very much, Ila. And we want to keep that smile on Fabrice's face. So now it's time for our match of the day. Garbiñe Muguruza against Kristina Mladenovic.
Muguruza, Kristina Mladenovic.
And it means we will have a first-time French Open women's champion. We're going to react to that in a little bit, but I do want to tell you that Dominic Thiem is 4-1 up on Horacio Zeballos on Susan Longren. He leads by 2-0. And this has just happened behind us on Philippe Chatrier involving the defending men's champion Novak Djokovic. Remember, he was a breakdown. He was broken in his first service game, but Nick, he has leveled things up and it's game on in the first set.
Yeah, topsy-turvy from Novak Djokovic, and if you remember from the last round, he went 5 sets against Diego Schwartzman, and again looked rather out of sorts continuing that trend, but he'll be happy to be back on serve and hopefully winning that first set against Ramos Vinolas.
And we do have Eli courtside if anything should happen. But a reaction from a French woman about another French woman. What a win for Kristina Mladenovic, Camille.
Amazing win for her, and a moment of emotion. So fantastic for her. She played great. We were talking about her courage, and she won because of her courage. To finish the match, she was amazing. She just hit the ball so hard. We didn't feel any, stress in her arm to finish the match. And I think she asked the crowd, to be there for her because she likes those moments. She has always loved playing on big courts, and she used this. She's confident, and she used the crowd, and it worked.
Yeah, the crowd were 100% behind her. Absolute delight on the face of Kristina Mladenovic. She had that back injury early on, and we weren't sure how she'd do. Her brothers here, her family on their feet. Absolute delight from her. But by contrast, and understandable that Kristina Mladenovic is so happy. When Garbine Muguruza, the defending women's champion, left the court, Nick, there was a slight touch of controversy with how Muguruza left the court.
Yeah, well, they always announce the players' names, obviously sending her off, the French crowd giving her an ovation. You can see it here, the finger wag. Eventually, Muguruza just felt like she wasn't respected, and she said today in press that she felt as though the French crowd was a little bit too harsh to her, but I felt like it was a Fed Cup atmosphere, Camille. You have to play, and especially when you're playing a French player in France, you're going to know the crowd's against you.
Yeah, really, I think she's just very disappointed, and maybe she's very emotional at this time because the crowd was not terrible. It was, just they were helping a French player. It's Roland-Garros, and sometimes, like as a French, we say, the crowd is not behind us. And this time, the crowd was there, but it was not disrespectful. And I think because she wanted so much to win this match, Muguruza, she's the defending champion. She's not very confident, and maybe all of this is very difficult for her to deal with.
Well, and Kiki used the crowd well. She involved the crowd, and that was smart of her, I think.
She certainly did. And Camille, you mentioned the emotions that Garbine Muguruza must have been feeling out on court. Just take a little look at this. It's just a little bit from her post-match press conference that happened pretty shortly after she came off court.
Hi, Garbine. Hi. I was just wondering if you could hear Kristina yell Forza on a few unforced errors you made and how annoying it is to hear your opponent do that.
We're going to take just a very short break, okay? So hold on. Do you want to pop outside for a minute? Okay. Bear with us, please, for a few moments.
Yeah.
I mean, the question in itself wasn't controversial, but clearly she was feeling so emotional and everything was still very raw.
Yeah, like it's rare, and those scenes are rare in press conference because even if you're angry at the crowd, but not being able to talk because something is very deep inside her. I think she loved those moments when she won the title. The crowd was with her, and maybe she has a feeling, of not ashamed, but being, disrespectful. I don't know. The crowd was great, and she felt that bad, and I think it's something deeper,
She did come back to the press conference, and she alluded to the fact she's almost glad this is over. She loves this tournament, very special memories, but everybody's been saying to her, what about defending your title? What about defending your title? And I think now she can almost breathe a little bit, Nick, and look forward to the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and she actually was asked in the Spanish portion of press what caused that breakdown, what was she so emotional about, and she literally just said defeat. It was just the defeat, the moment she was defending champion. But now, Gigi, as you say, she can breathe that sigh of relief. She's no longer defending champion here. Obviously disappointed today, but she moves on to the grass where she's played so well in the past. 2015 Wimbledon runner-up. And Garbine Muguruza is a player that the WTA needs, but we also need these rivalries like we saw today. That was a dramatic match and a great win for Mladenovic.
We have a match point. You will not be surprised to know that it's not from the court behind me because they were just coming towards the end of the first set.
Is it Dominic Thiem?
It's very quick. Dominic Thiem. 6-1 in the third set. So he continues to cruise through this draw.
He's such an amazing guy. I mean, he's young, and
Yes.
he's dealing with those moments. It's amazing for me how he can be so mature.
I think we should change his name on the draw to Dominic Steam. He's been steamrolling through. That was
Whoa,
cheesy, I
that's
know.
whoa.
The cheese factor was high,
Applause.
but come
I
on.
don't think we applaud that,
He
Camille.
hasn't-
That encourages it.
He hasn't
You're right.
dropped
No, I
a
don't say
set
anything.
yet. Dominic Team is steaming through Roland-Garros 2017.
Little bit cheesy.
So cheesy.
Back to the action from today. Caroline Wozniacki against Svetlana Kuznetsova. It was the first match on Philippe Chatrier. Two big players with an awful lot of experience, and it's Caroline Wozniacki who came through.
Yeah, it's a little surprise for me, to my point of view, because Kuznetsova has a clay court game. She was raised now in Spain, and Wozniacki is more like a hard court player from the baseline, very solid, but with maybe less power than Kuznetsova. Kuznetsova with the second serve, like Stosur. Those players, there are two players serving like that on clay. It's Kuznetsova and Stosur, and they're both out of the draw. So I think Wozniacki was very fit, and she could, respond in a very good way to Kuznetsova's power, and she made it. But it's a surprise for me.
Yeah, Wozniacki played aggressive when it mattered in the third set especially, and this is a player who hasn't been in the quarterfinals of Roland-Garros since 2010. Wozniacki, obviously a former world #1. I think she's finding herself more. She lost her way for a while. A surprise, yes, in a way, but Caro knows how to play these big matches, and I was surprised and impressed by her down the stretch.
And she's got Yelena Ostapenko up next. Now, another match which was full of intrigue, Tamir Bacsinszky against Venus Williams. Now, Bacsinszky, from a position of 5-1 up in the first set, she dropped that first set, but she managed to keep it together. And we spoke to Heinz Gunther, the Swiss Fed Cup captain, last night. He said, look, my head says maybe not, my heart says Tamir. But one thing he did say is she's playing at the moment with so much confidence, she has that belief.
Yeah, she lost that 5-1 lead, left the court, which I think was very smart of her to do, reset in a sense, and then came out a different player against Venus Williams, who was, after Muguruza went out, the lone remaining Grand Slam champion in the women's singles draw. You can see it here, Bacsinszky making a third quarterfinal in as many years at Roland-Garros, having made the semifinals here in 2015.
Yeah, and beating Venus, I mean, it's such a great win for her, because Venus was playing very good. She's serving good, but we knew that we can see like this drop shot. She's a very smart player, Bacsinszky, and to make Venus come forward. Venus is great from the baseline, but as soon as you make her run, she's a tall girl, and it was very clever for her not to play her just with power, but to mix, a little bit, and we could see on the match point she used that stroke. She's very smart, and I'm happy for her that she went through.
But she faces Kristina Mladenovic in the next round.
That is a big deal in this part of the world, right?
It's huge. Right, we're keeping an eye on what's taking place behind us, involving Novak Djokovic against Albert Ramos Vinales. But in the meantime, we have the latest player to take the Live at Roland-Garros quiz. He's through to the fourth round. He faces Kevin Anderson. But more importantly, how did Marin Cilic get on with the quiz?
Both. I'm cheering for Real, but I would like also for Juve to win. Both great players. Chatrier, Macarena, red wine, creme brulee, Breaking Bad, Snapchat, Kevin Durant.
Can we do that with you before the end of the tournament?
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah. Oh, she's quite keen on that. Oh,
She's ready.
Yeah.
That will be. I think that should
Macarena
be.
is taken by Cilic, but
Oh
you
no,
have to
we're going
think
to
about something
customize
else.
some questions just for you.
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing or Grease, you can go.
We're going to say like social media or not social media.
Social media.
Yeah,
Ah.
Twitter
Social media.
or
They're
Instagram
trying to take
or
me,
something.
yeah.
You know we are
That's
going to
not
get
nice,
there.
though.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No, let's move on. Let's get back to the action because there were other matches that took place today. So let's run through a few of the key points, a few of the moments, starting with a Spaniard, Pablo Carreño Busta, who had a very good chance going into this match against Milos Raonic. Raonic, the 5th seed, but Nick, Pablo Carreño Busta has been playing really well this year.
Oh, he really has. He was a semi-finalist in Indian Wells, and look at this, his first ever top 10 win. He needed a couple chances to serve it out against Milos Raonic. And then Pablo got very emotional courtside with an interview in Spanish. I think it means a lot to him to move on. Obviously, a momentous win in this 25-year-old's career.
Yeah, a first top 10 win, a first Grand Slam quarterfinal, but he's got Nadal next. A match coming over 2 days, spread out over 2 days, but Kei Nishikori and that wrist we're keeping an eye on finally came through.
Yeah, I mean, he had such a great battle against another Asiatic player. There's not a lot of Asiatic players, and this Chung is very, very like strong. He hits the ball. Like, he's amazing because he's young, so you think, okay, maybe he's gonna have some complex against Nishikori, who's a god, you know, in Japan, even if he's from Korea. But he just played his match 100%, and he just forced him to this fifth set, and good for Nishikori.
Camille, when are we going to start talking about Elena Svitolina?
Yeah, she's there. She's in the shadows, but she's just #1 at the race, you know, this year. So it's not a surprise to see her there. She had a maybe tough beginning here in Roland-Garros, but now she's on and she's playing so good. The confidence she had from the past tournament, you can see that because it was a great, great win.
Yelena Ostapenko, another big win for her against Sam Stosur.
Yeah, this was a big win for Ostapenko. She made the final in Charleston earlier this year on clay. You can see the emotion there from her. I think that gave her the confidence from Charleston, and she didn't expect to be in the quarterfinals, but she's there and has a 3-0 record against Caroline Wozniacki.
And finally, Karolina Pliskova, she keeps saying, don't talk about me as a contender for this title. This is clay. I'm not sure about how I am on clay, but a good win against Corinne Witthoft.
Very good win, and I think she just has no pressure because she thinks, okay, it's not my surface. The grass court is coming. I'm going to look forward to playing in Wimbledon. And now she's just playing amazing on because she's serving well, and she had opponents that didn't, you know, bother her that much. Karina Witthoff is a very good player on clay, but she just hits the ball, and maybe she would have played Basinski because, you know, like she's a very tall player as well, like Venus, she would have problem.
Yes.
But playing like Witthoff, she just play hard, and she could play
Very
her
much
game.
so.
Some good wins out there today. Right, it's time for our behind-the-scenes pass to take effect. We're going access all areas. You know where we're headed. We're headed into the players' locker room. Normally, we just let this play out, Camille, but I want to get your thoughts as a player. Would you have minded cameras there and us sort of following you around while you're getting ready for matches?
Yeah,
Because I love watching it.
Yeah, it's and it's good because they're so focused. It's before the match, warming up with the staff. We could see Xavier Moreau, who's the physical trainer of Kiki, and it's a very, very important moment when you enter the court just before to be with your staff and warming up, and the exercises are very precise, and I think they're focused and they don't even see the camera.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating.
I just think it is the cool. I mean, Kiki Mladenovic taking selfies after making a Grand Slam quarterfinal. It is the coolest look inside the hallways,
You love that.
the locker room. Social media loves it too. All of it.
Camille's going to find out when she takes part in social media.
Can't wait.
Now, we're still waiting for the order of play to be confirmed because match is still taking place. But we wanted to look at some of the matches that we definitely will see tomorrow. We're waiting to see what time and on what court. So if we run through, we've put together the men's matches, we put together the women's matches. So let's take a look. We're going to get you're pretty good on your match of the day. Which one you think is going to be a good one? So should we take a look?
We'll
Let's
take a
do
look.
it.
Are you ready?
Let's
Okay,
go.
right, let's go. Let's bring up some of these matches and see what we're expecting to see tomorrow. And here we go, the women's. Elena Svitolina against Petra Martic, Carla Suarez-Navarro against Simona Halep, Caroline Garcia against Alizé
That's
Cornet.
a good one.
You've already got it. Have you got it?
Yeah,
Okay, you got it.
Garcia
Okay, then, so
Cornet.
we didn't even need to show that pretty much. That was the one that was going to jump out. Right, let's take a look at the men's matches for tomorrow. We're just getting these order of play through. Andy Murray against Karen Khachanov, Fernando Verdasco against Kei Nishikori, Stan Wawrinka against Gael Monfils, Kevin Ansel against Marin Cilic. And Andy Murray can tell you in Stan Wawrinka's match, they are the two men's matches that will be on Chatrier. The other two on Susan
Monfils.
Oh,
Longland.
really?
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Great.
You've kind of gone French there in your picks.
Yeah, a
then
lot
tomorrow.
of French. That's great.
Oh,
you know?
that'll be an incredible match, Monfils against Wawrinka. I also want to call out the Murray-Khachanov match. I think it'll be fascinating to see how Karen, 21 years young, takes on the world #1 on the big stage on Chatrier.
Thank you both very much for your time. Look forward
Thank
to
you,
seeing you
Gigi.
again soon. Enjoy the
Thanks,
rest of your
Gigi.
Sunday evening. Match is still taking place, so don't forget to go to RolandGarros.com and you can keep an eye on that. I can tell you that having been a breakup and then Novak Djokovic you saw broke back, they are currently in a first set tiebreak, so that could run and run. It's only coming up to 7:30. They can probably play till about 9:30 this evening. So keep an eye on the website for the latest on that. Use the hashtag RG17. Remember, we've got the hashtag GetCamille on social media. You can use that if you want, because we are going to make that happen before the end of the tournament. We'll be back with you at the same time. That's our challenge of the tournament. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow night. Keep those tweets and texts and anything you want else coming through. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
And